Well, some parents might be struggling to get their kids excited about distance learning and virtual school, but you can still get them excited about science. And here to tell us how is educator Michael Bonner. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. All right, so can you tell us, how has the pandemic really impacted learning, students, and teachers?
So it definitely has caused a huge shift to happen because most of the time we're used to being in person and the energy and the smiling. But with the global pandemic happening and COVID-19 coming into play, it makes it a little bit difficult. So you find us trying to figure out better ways that we can engage our children, specifically with them being online.
Now, talking about the critical need and, of course, the impact of having free learning resources, like science at home, what does that really mean for students, parents, and teachers?
Not only is it online, but it's free, right? And it's also aligned to the next generation science standards. So when parents and teachers and students are participating in the science at home experiments, they are guaranteed to have an amazing experience because they are learning, they are critically thinking, they're going through different types of problem solving. And I think that is the advantage of having a free resource like science at home, because it sort of helps level the playing field due to the lack of access that happened according to COVID-19.
Now, STEM is something that's been important even when I was in school, but why would you say it's more important now than ever?
It basically is based around scientific exploration and problem solving and critical thinking. I think those are some of the most important characteristics that any individual can have, specifically in 2020. So by giving our students that opportunity to practice that skill set, I think we'll put them in a better position to be global leaders. And that is why it's extremely important that we expose it to them, exposing to science at home or any type of scientific method as early as possible.
Absolutely. The younger generation is the future of tomorrow. So that makes perfect sense. Now, let's talk about equality and diversity when it comes to STEM, because I can tell you, even as a girl, you typically don't even see a lot of girls when it comes to STEM.
So I would say Miriam Wright Elderman has this quote that I love, and she says, "You can't be what you can't see." Right. So it's up to us as educators, it's up to organizations, amazing companies like 3M to make sure we're providing students and families with the proper resources so that students can be exposed to the greatness that's out there. And what makes it so amazing is that you never know what students can connect their passion and energy to. And I think that is what makes it so beautiful. As long as we expose them to something better or something great, then we can sort of see more diversity and equity begin to take place.
Now, what about science at home? What is it exactly, and how did it all start?
Science at Home was developed by 3M around April, especially when COVID-19 really began to force all of us into emergency online learning. And it's essentially an online library full of experiments that can be recorded from home and also performed at home out of everyday simplistic items that you find. And you will see different things such as students creating a rubber band guitar, which I did, which was absolutely amazing, or inflating a balloon with simple everyday chemical reactions. Using those different types of things, Science at Home finds a commonality amongst things in their home and tries to build a powerful learning experience so students can connect with the science and things that are happening.
That's awesome. I love it. Rubber band guitar. I could add that one to this collection over here. So can you tell viewers where they can go to learn more?
Go to 3m.com/science at home, where there are tons of resources and videos that you can watch together as a family or as a teacher and a student inside of the classroom and have a powerful learning moment.
Thank you so much, Michael. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You can always find this segment and more on our website at